Hello everyone, I am Dr. A.D. Vikhar, and from today we will start the actual syllabus starting with the unit number 1 of power plant engineering. Unit number 1 is introduction to power plant. Let us review again what are the contents of unit number 1. In unit number 1, introduction to power plant, we will study world and national scenario of demand and supply of energy. We will also learn introduction to power plant, their importance and types. We will learn hydroelectric power plant, their classification, general arrangement, operating principle, advantages and limitations along with its maintenance. We will learn diesel power plant, introduction to it, its components, advantages and limitations, diesel engineering, diesel generating set and maintenance. So this way, two important power plants that we will learn in this unit. One is hydroelectric power plant and second one is diesel power plant. In diesel power plant, we will study very important power generating unit, that is diesel generating set. Before that, we must understand world and national scenario of demand and supply of energy. This is the first point of unit number 1, and today we will cover this point only in this video. Energy is one of the major input for the economy. Everywhere we need the electrical energy, and that without electrical energy we cannot run our appliances. In the case of developing countries, the energy sector assumes a critical importance. India is a developing country. Some countries are developed countries, some countries are developing countries. So India is in the category of developing countries. And in such a situation, the ever increasing energy needs required huge investment. Huge investment in production of electricity is required. We have to pay much more amount in production of electricity as compared to other. See here, energy can be classified as primary and secondary energy, commercial and non-commercial energy, renewable and non-renewable energy. Before learning the use of power plants, though it may be hydro or though it may be a diesel or any other, we must understand how the energy can be classified. So energy classification is given: primary and secondary energy, commercial and non-commercial energy, renewable and non-renewable energy. Primary and secondary energy. Primary energy sources are those that are either found or stored in nature. They are naturally available. Common primary energy sources are coal, oil, natural gas and biomass. Wood is also treated in the category of biomass. Other primary sources available include nuclear energy from radioactive substances, thermal energy stored in Earth's interior, and potential energy due to Earth's gravity. Primary energy sources are mostly converted in industrial utilities into secondary sources. For example, coal or oil or gas converted into steam and electricity. So here we will see the use of coal. Coal is utilized for heating the water inside the boiler. From the boiler we will get the steam, and after that the steam is given to the steam turbine, from where it is connected to the generating electricity generator, and from where we get the electricity. Similarly, oil or gas can be used for heating the water, and from that we will get the steam, and from the steam we get the electricity by using electric generator. Primary energy can also be used directly. Some energy sources have non-energy use. For example, coal or natural gas can be used as a feedstock in fertilizer plant. So this is a non-energy use of coal and natural gas that are used as a feedstock in fertilizer plants. So this is a graph which is this is a picture which is showing the use of major primary and secondary sources. Coal is there, hydroelectric means water is there, nuclear energy, natural gas, petroleum gas, all these are the sources of energy, and they are extracted. After processing, they are used for power generation. Here you will see that oil well, from the oil well you get a petroleum, and petroleum products may be in the form of LPG, petrol, diesel fuel oils, and petrochemical. Let us see commercial energy and non-commercial energy. What is commercial energy? The energy sources that are available in the market for a definite price are known as commercial energy. By far, the most important form of commercial energy are electricity, coal, and refined petroleum products. See, petrol we are using in our vehicles, coal that is used in different power stations, and also in our homes or in our for commercial purpose we require electricity. So these are treated as commercial energy. Commercial energy forms the basis of industrial, agriculture, transport, and commercial development in the modern world. In the industrialized countries, commercialized fuels are predominant sources not only for economic production but also for many household tasks of general population. So this way, this is the information regarding commercial energy. The examples of commercial energy are electricity, lignite, coal, oil, natural gas. Non-commercial energy. The energy sources that are not available in commercial market for a price are classified as non-commercial energy. There is no they are not easily found in market. The energy sources that are not available in the commercial market for a price are classified as a non-commercial energy. Non-commercial energy sources include fuels such as firewood, cattle dung, and agricultural waste, which are traditionally gathered and not bought at a price, used especially in rural households. There are also called as traditional fuels. These are also called as traditional fuels. Non-commercial energy is often ignored in energy accounting. This is a very important parameter related to non-commercial energy. Examples include firewood, agro waste in rural areas, solar energy for water heating, electricity generation for drying grain, electricity generation for drying grain, fish and fruits, animal power for transport, threshing, lifting of water for irrigation, crushing sugarcane, wind energy for lifting water, and electricity generation. These are some of the examples of non-commercial energy. Let us see renewable and non-renewable energy. We know the meaning of this. The energy which can be renewed or obtained from sources that are essentially exhaustible, that are called as the renewable sources of energy. Examples of renewable sources include wind power, solar power, geothermal energy, tidal power, and hydroelectric power. The most important feature of renewable energy is that it cannot be harnessed without the release of harmful pollutants. Non-renewable energy is conventional fossil fuel such as coal, oil, and gas, which are likely to deplete with time. So non-renewable, once utilized we cannot renew it. That is why that is called as a non-renewable energy. So this is the picture which is showing you renewable as well as non-renewable energy. In this picture you will see biomass, solar, geothermal, wind, and water that are treated as a renewable forms of energy, while nuclear, oil, natural gas, or coal that are treated or assumed to be non-renewable type of energy. Let us see global primary energy reserves. Coal. Number one, coal. The proven global coal reserves was estimated to be 9,84,453 million tons by the end of 2003. I am having the figure of 2003, that's why I am giving you the figure of 2003 here. The coal reserve was estimated to be 9,84,453 million tons. The USA has the largest share of global reserve of coal, 25.4%, followed by Russia 15.9% and China 11.6%. So these are the coal reserves of these countries. India was a fourth in the list with the 8.6% coal reserves. Next is oil. Let us see. The global proven oil reserves was estimated to be 1147 billion barrels by the end of 2003. Again, I am here giving you the figures of 2003. Presently, I am not having the recent figures in the year 2020. But for idea purpose, we can see that oil reserve was estimated to be 1147 billion barrels in the year 2003. Saudi Arabia had the largest share of the reserve with almost 23%. 1 barrel of oil is approximately 160 liters. So this is the information related to oil reserves. Let us see gas. The global proven gas reserves was estimated to be 176 trillion cubic meters by the end of 2003. The Russian Federation had the largest share of reserve with almost 27%. So Russia is presently also having the largest share of reserve in case of gas, 27%. The global primary energy consumption at the end of 2003 was equivalent to 9,741 million tons of oil equivalent. The primary energy consumption for few of the developed and developing countries are given in the following table. You will see the table here. In the next slide, we will show you the information required, detailed information required in it. So this is a figure. Global primary energy consumption of every country. Most of the countries are covered: USA, Canada, France, Russia, United Kingdom, China. See the figure of China. Regarding oil, 113.3 million tons oil equivalent. Primary energy consumption of fuel in 2003, 27.1 million tons. I am telling you the figures of India: 185.3 million tons, 4.1 million tons, 15.6 million tons, and regarding this total we'll get 345.3 million tons. These are the this is a chart of primary energy consumption by the year 2003. So energy distribution, let us see between developed and developing countries. Although 80% of the world's population lies in the developing countries, this is very important. 80% of world's population today also lies in the developing countries. The high standard of living in the developed countries are attributable to the high energy consumption level. Also, the rapid population growth in the developing countries has kept the per capita energy consumption low compared with that of the highly industrialized developed countries. So, highly industrialized developed countries are China, Australia, America, United Kingdom. These are, we can say, highly industrialized developed countries. In industrial countries, people use 4 to 5 times more than world average, and 9 times more than the average for the developing countries. And American uses 30 times more energy, more commercial energy than in India. So this is very important point. In industrial countries, people use the energy 4 to 5 times more than the world average. Let us see the Indian energy scenario. Indian energy scenario: India is treated as a developing country. Coal dominates the energy mix in India, contributing to 55% of the total primary energy production. So coal is very important energy source in India. Most of the power plant in India are running on the basis of coal. Over the years, there has been a marked increase in the share of natural gas in the primary production from 10% to 13%. There has been a decline in the share of oil in primary and energy production, 20% to 17%. India energy supply, let us see this point. Coal supply: India has huge coal reserves, at least 84,396 million tons of proven recoverable reserves. This amounts to almost 8.6% of the world reserves, and it may last for about 230 years at the current reserve to production ratio, RP ratio. What is RP ratio? reserve to production ratio. How much is the reserve and how much is the production? That is the ratio. In contrast, the world proven coal reserves are expected to last only for 192 years at the current RP ratio. So RP ratio is accounted here, reserve to production ratio. So I am explaining here India energy supply. How is the energy supply of India? Reserve to production ratio means if the reserves remaining at the end of the year are divided by the production in that year, the result is the length of the time that the remaining reserves would last if production were to continue at that level. India is the fourth largest producer of coal and lignite in the world. Coal production is concentrated in the states Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Orissa, Jharkhand and West Bengal. In Maharashtra, Chandrapur is the source of coal. So coal production is concentrated in these states Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Orissa, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Let us see oil supply, oil supply in India. Oil is used everywhere is used now. Oil accounts for about 36% of India's total energy consumption. India today is one of the top 10 oil guzzling nation in the world and will soon overtake Korea as the third largest consumer of oil in Asia after China and Japan. The country's annual crude oil production is peaked at about 32 million tons as against the current peak demand of about 110 million tons. India will have to pay an oil bill of roughly $50 billion, assume a weighted average price of $50 per barrel of crude. In 2003-04, against total export of $64 billion, oil imports accounted for $21 billion in India. So this is nothing but how oil is imported, how much amount of oil is imported in India, and we are seeing here the energy supply of oil in Indian scenario from the Indian point of scenario. So there is somewhat problem in presenting the PPT. It is not taking. Let us wait. India imports 70% of its crude needs mainly from Gulf nations. The majority of India's roughly 5.4 billion barrels in oil reserves are located in the Bombay High, Upper Assam, Cambay, Krishna Godavari. So these are nothing but oil reserves locations in India. In terms of sector-wise petroleum product consumption, transport accounts for 42%, followed by domestic and industry with 24% and 24% respectively. So 24% approximately is the consumption in domestic and industry, while 42% is consumed in transportation in India. India spent more than rupees 1,10,000 crores on oil imports. This is nothing but the figure of 2004. Natural gas supply. Natural gas accounts for about 8.9% of energy consumption in our country. The current demand for natural gas is about 96 million cubic meter per day, as against availability of 67 cubic meters per day. By 2007, the demand is expected to be around 200 million cubic meters per day. Natural gas reserves are estimated at 660 billion cubic meters. Electrical energy supply. This is another source. The all India's installed capacity of electric power generating station under utilities was 1,12,581 megawatt as on 31st May 2004, consisting of 28,860 megawatt hydropower, 77,931 megawatt thermal power, and 2,720 megawatt nuclear, and 1,869 megawatt in the power from the wind energy. The gross generation of power in the year 2002-2003 stood at 531 billion units kilowatt hour. So this is an Indian scenario. Nuclear power, let us see. Supply of nuclear power contributes to about only 22.4% of electricity generated in India. India has 10 nuclear power reactors at 5 nuclear power stations producing electricity. More nuclear reactors have also been approved for construction. So this is nothing but nuclear scenario of our country. We are now where research is tremendous research is going on in production of electricity with the nuclear power, and this is one of the thing that we are going in further sections. Nuclear power energy. Hydropower supply. India is endowed with a vast and viable hydropower potential for power generation, of which only 15% has been harnessed so far. Hydropower station in Maharashtra are available. Koina Nagar at Koina will have that hydropower. At Aurangabad also we are producing the electricity by using water, or hydroelectric power station is there. Some of the major units are also available across the India. Bhakra Dam at there also. Narmada power project, that is also available in India for generating the electricity with the help of hydropower or water, from the water. Let us see again, the PPT is having certain problem. Let us wait for it. The share of hydropower in the country's total generated unit has steadily decreased, and it stands at 25% as on 31st May 2004. Final energy consumption. Final energy consumption is the actual energy demand at the user rate. This is the difference between primary energy consumption and the losses that takes place in transport, transmission and distribution and refinement. The actual final energy consumption is given in the following table. Let us see that table. So electricity, coal, lignite, natural gas, oil products, these are the sources that are used in India for production of electricity. Its billion units are given in the year 1994-5 up to 2011-12. In 2011-12 electricity generation billion units was 1067.88. After that the other figures are also in front of you using coal, lignite, natural gas and oil products. Thank you very much.